For this assignment, we're going to be using some previously learned skills through chapters 1 through 4 to complete the worksheet. So let's begin by adding some cell rows. So let's click on 8, and we want to insert roughly 6 more rows, 6 to 7. Okay, so here we have our set planned indirect expenses. We want to use these titles above here. So I'm going to go ahead and just insert one more. Easy way. Highlight, copy, paste. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and insert another row. And above that row, let's call it indirect expenses. Down here, go ahead and insert another row. Go on net income. And then to provide some visual spacing, we'll do another insert. So for this one, why don't we go ahead, we can use a similar fill. So in this case, I used yellow, bold. For visuals, let's indent the following. And then insert one more row. We're going to go total indirect expenses. Okay, so at this point we should have document should look similar to what I have here. Let's go ahead and insert a few more rows. We're going to add another line for square footage, which we'll later use for our formula. So, and numbers, we'll go 10,500, 875, 1,425, 6,250, 1,325, 7,500, 6,700, and 2,750. So over here, let's add a total column. We're going to go ahead and copy our formatting. Over. So we got the same underlined, yellow underline, and cell formatting. So let's begin. We'll go equals sum. Find our total net revenue. And using our fill handle, we'll just bring that down. Okay, so for our first formula, we're going to figure out what portion of this administrative expense is attributed to the banquet room. So to do that, we are going to take our administrative expense times our banquet room total divided by the overall total. And we're going to use a absolute reference there. And enter. So before we fill this over, I want to navigate up here to the formula bar. Now if we were to navigate or fill over, it would copy down B23, B24, or actually, apologize, C22, it'll see a pattern. So what we want to do, anytime we have this area, click in B22 and do our F4. This will create an absolute reference. then we can use to fill over across. All right, so you can see here, if you click in here, still factoring in administrative expense times what portion of C4 is the total, and so on and so on. Okay, depreciation equals depreciation expense, F4, times our banquet room square footage, which would be this number here, divided by the total square footage. We're going to F4 that. Okay, so it says here, oh, we don't have anything, so let's do a summation for the total building square footage. Now you can see this formula changes. And again, using our fill handle, let's bring that over. Energy equals total energy cost, F4, and what portion of that then is attributed to the banquet room. So to do this, we're going to use their net revenue divided by the total. F4 for an absolute reference, and then fill over. Insurance equals our insurance expense, again F4, times our banquet room square footage divided by the total square footage of the room. Again, maintenance, the total maintenance expense times banquet room square footage divided by, again, the total square footage. Marketing So here we have an error. So let's look. We have absolute formula B27 times B4 divided by, so here we have J40. So issue there should be J, easy way to fix. And there we go. Go ahead and fill across. Here we have a total line, so why don't we use our sum? This will be just of our indirect costs from above. Another total column. Here we want to know the total for each row. And if done correctly, the totals here in the first 6 should match our totals down here. Okay, our next formula we're going to do is the net income. So click in cell B17, we're going to equals total net revenue minus cost of sales minus direct expenses, parentheses, minus our total indirect expenses. Okay, copy this over. We can go ahead and copy this if we like, paste to get our summation formula. And now we're going to go ahead and format our cells. So let's start with our first row here. We're just going to do the accounting. And we'll do the same to this row. The first indirect expense row, or administrative, the total indirect expense, and our net income. Do that. In between here, we're going to use the comma formatting, so as to get rid of all the excessive decimals. And there you go. Now at this point, if everything goes right, check your numbers. You should have a total of 2245759 and a net income total of 1,182,659. Okay, next let's apply, now that we have a net income or a total figure, we're going to apply cell style of total to both the net income and the total indirect expenses. So you see here the total indirect, a little long, so let's auto fit that. And at this point, let's go ahead and insert a header. So in the far left, let's put your name. Middle, let's go Rock View Resort. And then here, let's go ahead and use our current date button. So you can go ahead and select out of that if you wish. So let's see here. So on your View tab, here, go back to normal. And then you can see here the dotted line is where the page break will be. If you need to on the bottom, go ahead and zoom in to get the full imagery. Alright, go ahead and watch the next video for chart creations, formula button showing, and additional formulas.